of confidence, because you are no longer living for the approval or opinions of others. You are living on your own terms. When everything is out in the open, people begin to form opinions, judgments, and expectations about you. These outside voices can shape the way you think about yourself, even when you don't realize it. Privacy acts like a shield, protecting you from unnecessary noise. It keeps your energy focused on what truly matters rather than wasting it on explaining yourself to the world. The less people know about your personal struggles and plans, the less power they have to influence or harm them. Privacy allows your goals to develop in silence. Think of it like a seed growing underground. Before it becomes a tree, no one can see the roots taking shape, but that quiet growth is what makes it strong. When you share everything too early, your dreams are exposed to opinions, doubts, and sometimes envy. Some people may not support you genuinely, and their negative energy can discourage you. But when you keep your plans private, you give yourself the space to grow freely without outside pressure. You build your foundation in peace, and when the time is right, your success speaks for itself. There is also emotional power in privacy. When you share every detail of your happiness or pain, you give people the ability to affect your emotions. Some may celebrate with you, but others may use your openness to criticize or even hurt you. Keeping certain feelings private helps you stay emotionally balanced. It doesn't mean you bottle everything up. It means you choose wisely who you trust. You give your heart only to those who truly value and protect it, rather than opening it up to everyone. Privacy also teaches discipline. It trains you to think before you speak, to act without seeking validation, and to move forward with quiet determination. When you are not dependent on external approval, you become mentally stronger. You stop worrying about what others think, and start focusing on what you truly want. Your decisions become clearer because they are based on your values, not on other people's opinions. In relationships, privacy builds trust and respect. Not everything that happens between two people needs to be shared with the world. Keeping personal matters private helps maintain dignity and understanding. It prevents unnecessary drama and keeps relationships healthier. The strength of a bond grows when it is protected from outside interference. Even in personal achievements, there is power in not announcing everything. Working silently often leads to greater results, because your energy stays directed toward the work itself, not the reaction to it. When your actions eventually speak, they speak louder and with more impact, because no one expected them. Privacy creates an inner calm. When you don't feel the need to constantly explain yourself, you free your mind from the weight of other people's opinion. This calmness becomes a source of strength. You walk through life with quiet confidence, knowing that not everyone has access to your world. You hold your story in your hands, and that control is true power. Not everyone deserves to know your story because your life is personal, unique, and deeply connected to your emotions, experiences, and growth. Every chapter you live holds meaning, and not everyone is meant to understand or respect that meaning. Some people will listen to your story with genuine care, while others may listen with curiosity, judgment, or even envy. Sharing everything with everyone gives away pieces of your heart to people who might not value them. Your story is precious, and not everyone has earned the right to hear it. When you share personal details with people who don't truly care, you create unnecessary vulnerability. Not everyone will protect your truth the way you do. Some may use your words against you, twist them, or talk about them with others who have no connection to your life. This can lead to misunderstandings, broken trust, or emotional pain. By choosing carefully who you share with, you protect your heart from careless hands. Your experiences are not for everyone's entertainment or analysis. They are part of who you are, and they should be shared with people who have proven they can hold them with respect. There is also a difference between being open and being exposed. Openness is healthy when shared with the right people, but exposure happens when you let too many people into your personal space without considering their intentions. Not everyone who smiles at you has kind feelings. Some are curious to know, some are waiting to judge, and some are simply passing time. Your story is not a public book that everyone has the right to read. It is more like a diary, meant to be opened only by those who truly understand the value of its pages. People interpret stories based on their own mindset and experiences. What you say with honesty may be understood through someone else's filter of jealousy, insecurity, or misunderstanding. That is why not everyone can handle your truth. Some may question your choices not because they are wrong, but because they don't see life the way you do. Others might discourage you because your dreams make them uncomfortable. When you share your story widely, you invite these interpretations, and sometimes they can affect your confidence, even when you know you're doing the right thing. Protecting your story is also about self-respect. You don't owe explanations to everyone. You don't have to tell the world why you made certain choices or how you overcame your challenges. Some parts of your journey are for you to understand, not for others to judge. The people who truly care will see your actions, not just your words. They will support you without needing every detail. When you keep parts of your story to yourself, you take ownership of it. You control who gets to see the real you and who doesn't. In life, you will meet different kinds of people. Some will support you unconditionally, some will be curious, and some will quietly hope for your failure. It's your responsibility to decide which of these people deserve access to your personal world. If you give everyone the same level of trust, you set yourself up for disappointment. But if you choose wisely, your story will be surrounded by people who lift you, not those who bring you down. There is also emotional peace in not sharing everything. When you keep certain chapters private, you give yourself space to heal, grow, and reflect without outside interference. You don't have to explain your pain to those who don't understand. You don't have to justify your happiness to those who envy it. By keeping some things to yourself, you maintain your inner strength and avoid unnecessary emotional drama. Your story deserves to be shared with people who have earned your trust, people who will treat it with care, and people who genuinely want to see you grow. Not everyone fits that description, and understanding this truth early helps you protect your heart, your journey, and your peace. A private life is a peaceful life because when you keep your personal world protected, you reduce unnecessary stress, drama, and emotional noise. Privacy creates a safe space where you can think clearly, grow quietly, and live on your own terms, without constant judgment. When too many people know the details of your life, they bring their opinions, expectations, and sometimes their envy into your space. This can disturb your mental and emotional balance. But when you keep your personal matters private, you give yourself the gift of calmness. You create boundaries that separate your inner peace from the outside world's chaos. Living privately allows you to focus on what truly matters. Instead of constantly updating others about your life, you invest that time and energy into improving yourself, nurturing your relationships, and working on your goals. It keeps your attention inward rather than outward. You don't live for other people's reactions, you live for your own growth and happiness. This quiet approach reduces pressure because you don't feel the need to perform or prove anything to anyone. You can make mistakes, learn, and change directions without the world watching every step. Privacy also protects your emotions. When your personal experiences are shared too openly, you give people the ability to affect how you feel. Some may celebrate with you, but others might criticize, judge, or spread negativity. Even well-meaning opinions can create confusion and self-doubt. Keeping your life private means you choose carefully who gets to influence your emotions. You give your heart access only to those who truly care and understand, not to everyone who happens to be watching. This selective sharing keeps your emotional world stable and protect it. In relationships, privacy builds trust and strength. When personal matters are kept between the people involved, there is less space for misunderstanding and outside interference. Friends, family, or strangers may have their own perspectives, but they don't always understand the depth of your experiences. By keeping certain things private, you protect the bond from unnecessary pressure. It allows love, friendship, and trust to grow naturally without being shaped by external noise. A private life also minimizes comparison. When you constantly share everything, it becomes easy to start comparing your journey to others, and vice versa. This can create feelings of insecurity or competition. But when you live quietly, you focus on your own timeline without distraction. You stop measuring your happiness against someone else's and start appreciating your own unique path. Privacy gives you the freedom to define success and joy on your own terms. Social media often makes people believe that sharing every detail is necessary, but in reality, some of the happiest and strongest people live quietly. They don't need to display their every move because they find contentment within themselves. Their privacy gives them control over their narrative. No one gets to twist their story or comment on their choices, because those details simply aren't public. This control over your personal narrative leads to a calmer and more secure life. Privacy also provides room for personal growth. When you don't feel like you're being observed all the time, you allow yourself to change freely. You can experiment, fail, and learn without feeling embarrassed or pressured. Your growth becomes genuine because it's not performed for an audience. This creates a strong inner foundation that doesn't depend on external validation. You evolve in silence, and when the time is right, your results speak naturally. A private life helps maintain a healthy mental space. Constant sharing often leads to constant thinking about how things will be perceived. It can make you overanalyze your actions or seek unnecessary approval. Privacy removes that weight. You stop worrying about what others think, because they simply don't have access to everything. This mental relief allows you to enjoy your moments fully. Your home, your relationships, your dreams, and your personal struggles become a sanctuary that is yours alone. Choose peace over attention, because attention may feel good in the moment, but peace lasts longer and builds strength from within. Many people chase attention because they want to feel seen, valued, or appreciated. They share every detail of their lives, speak loudly to be noticed, and seek validation through the reactions of others. But attention is temporary. It can fade quickly, and it often comes with judgment, pressure, and comparison. Peace, on the other hand, is steady. It is quiet but powerful. Choosing peace means valuing your inner calm more than the noise of outside approval. Attention can be addictive. When people start receiving it, they may feel encouraged to share more, do more, and even change themselves to keep it. This constant chase can lead to stress, anxiety, and the fear of being forgotten. It can make you rely on others to define your worth. But peace does not depend on anyone's reaction. It comes from being content with who you are and where you are, without needing to prove anything to the world. When you choose peace, you choose self-respect over performance, silence over unnecessary noise, and truth over appearances. The desire for attention often makes people share parts of their lives that should remain personal. They reveal their struggles, plans, and private moments, not because they want to, but because they crave acknowledgement. This can make their lives open to unnecessary opinions and interference. Choosing peace in such situations means holding back from oversharing and understanding that not every part of your life needs an audience. It is about recognizing that your value is not determined by how many people are watching, but by how stable and strong you feel inside. Attention from others is unpredictable. One day people cheer for you, and the next day they might criticize or forget you. Basing your sense of worth on this unstable foundation leaves you emotionally vulnerable. Peace, however, is something you control. When you protect your peace, you become less affected by praise or criticism. You learn to stay grounded whether people notice you or not. You stop trying to please everyone and start focusing on what makes you genuinely happy. This kind of stability builds confidence that doesn't depend on the outside world. Choosing peace over attention also gives you clarity. When you are not distracted by the need to impress or perform, you can focus on your real goal. Your decisions become more thoughtful because they are made for your growth, not for public reaction. You don't waste time trying to craft a perfect image. Instead, you work on becoming your best self. Peace creates a quiet space where real progress happens. Attention often creates pressure to act quickly, to show results before they're ready, and to maintain appearances even when you're struggling inside. In relationships, choosing peace brings honesty and trust. When you are not seeking attention constantly, you don't feel the need to perform or exaggerate. You can be authentic without worrying about how others perceive you. This builds deeper connections because people trust a sincerity more than show. When you're at peace with yourself, you don't compete for the spotlight. You allow others to shine too, and that creates harmony instead of rivalry. Attention can also bring unwanted negativity. The more visible you are, the more open you become to criticism, gossip, and misunderstanding. Not everyone who notices you wishes you well. Some may misinterpret your actions. Others may judge without knowing the full story, and some may simply watch without care. Peace protects you from this. When your priority is calmness, you don't get trapped in proving, defending, or explaining yourself all the time. You learn to let go of the need to be understood by everyone and focus on understanding yourself. When you choose peace over attention, you shift your energy inwards. You become more aware of your thoughts, emotions, and boundaries. You stop measuring your worth through numbers, likes, or applause. You start valuing quiet mornings, honest conversations, meaningful work, and genuine joy. Attention fades, but peace remains. Attention can make you loud, but peace makes you strong. Attention depends on others, but peace depends on you. Dreams grow best in silence because silence gives them space to breathe, develop, and take shape without being crushed by noise. When you share your dreams too early, you expose them to opinions, doubts, and distractions that can weaken their foundation. Just like a seed needs to be buried quietly in the soil before it breaks through as a plant, your dreams also need to be nurtured in a private space before they can face the world. Silence protects them from the harsh winds of negativity and allows them to grow strong. Many dreams fail not because they were impossible, but because they were shared with the wrong people at the wrong time. Some people may not understand your vision, may discourage you out of their own fears, and others may project their insecurities onto you. When you keep your dreams silent, you keep them safe from these early attacks. You give yourself the freedom to work on them without defending, explaining, or proving anything to anyone. This silence becomes a shield that lets you focus fully on the work rather than the opinion. Silence also gives clarity. When you talk too much about your plans, your energy shifts from doing to talking. You may feel temporary satisfaction in sharing, but it can make you lose focus. Quiet work allows you to think deeply, adjust your path when needed, and build a vision that is guided by your heart rather than external voices. It keeps your attention on progress, not on how others react. The quiet journey may feel lonely at times, but it is in that quiet space that real growth happens. In the early stages of a dream, confidence is still fragile. One negative comment, one doubtful look, or one careless remark can create unnecessary hesitation. Silence keeps those fragile moments protected. Instead of looking for approval, you build inner belief. You start trusting yourself more, and that self-trust becomes the foundation of your journey. By keeping your dream private, you allow it to grow in strength until it's ready to stand on its own. There's also a practical reason why silence helps dreams grow. When you talk too much about your goals, your brain can confuse talking with achieving. Sharing plans gives a false sense of accomplishment, which can reduce the motivation to actually do the work. On the other hand, when you quietly work toward your goals, your actions speak for themselves. The energy that might have been spent explaining is instead spent creating. Silent progress often surprises people because they only see the results when the work is already strong. Silence also protects your dreams from envy and unnecessary competition. Not everyone who listens to your plans wishes you well. Some may secretly hope you fail, others may try to copy your ideas, and some may place unnecessary pressure on you to prove something. By keeping your goals private, you avoid these hidden obstacles. You move without noise, without interference, and without pressure. Your journey becomes cleaner, more focused, and more peaceful. Working in silence builds discipline. It teaches you to rely on your daily efforts rather than external praise. It strengthens your patience because growth is happening quietly, away from attention. It reminds you that real success doesn't need to be announced at every step. It grows silently and powerfully until it naturally becomes visible. The quiet effort you put in every day creates a momentum that no one can see, but everyone will notice when the time comes. When your dreams finally reach the stage where they are ready to be shared, they are no longer fragile ideas, but strong realities. At that point, no amount of doubt or negativity can break them because they have been built in silence, away from the noise. They have grown with patience, hard work, and inner belief, and their roots are too deep to be shaken by opinions. This is why silence is not emptiness. It is a powerful space where dreams take their true shape. And let actions speak louder than posts, because what you do carries more weight than what you say online. In today's world, people often rush to announce every plan, every achievement, and every thought on social media. They want to be seen, acknowledged, and appreciated for their intentions, sometimes before any real work has even begun. But real strength and credibility come from quiet effort and visible results. Words can create an impression, but actions build trust and respect. When your work speaks for itself, you don't need to explain or prove much because the results make your message clear. Posting too much about your goals can give a false sense of progress. Talking about what you want to do might feel satisfying in the moment, but it can reduce your motivation to actually do the work. The brain interprets that social validation as if you've already accomplished something, making you less driven to push forwards. Actions, on the other hand, require discipline, patience, and focus. They create real progress that lasts, while posts create temporary attention that fades quickly. When you focus more on doing than talking, your growth becomes stronger and more meaningful. Letting your actions speak also protects you from unnecessary opinions. When you share every step of your journey publicly, people start commenting, advising, or even criticizing without fully understanding your vision. Their voices can distract you, discourage you, or make you doubt yourself. But when you work silently and show results only when they are ready, you give less room for interference. People can question something they don't see until it's finished, and by that time, your actions already carry enough weight to speak on their own. There is also a quiet confidence that comes from achieving without announcing. It teaches you to value the process rather than the praise. When you're not constantly seeking recognition through posts, You put all your energy into making sure the work is strong. You stop worrying about how it looks and focus on how it actually is. This shift builds resilience because you rely on your own effort, not on external reactions. Your work becomes a reflection of your character, not your captions. Social media often glorifies appearances over substance. People can easily craft stories that make their lives seem perfect, but reality is different. What separates real achievers from pretenders is consistent action behind the scenes. The world might not see your late nights, your quiet struggles, or your patient efforts, but when the results arrive, they speak louder than any post ever could. Those who work in silence often create the most lasting impact because their actions are built on dedication, not on performance. When you let action speak, you gain respect in a more genuine way. People admire results that are earned, not just talked about. They trust individuals who deliver rather than those who only promise. Words can be forgotten, but actions leave lasting impressions. Whether in your personal life, career, or relationships, consistent behavior matters more than online declarations. It shows reliability, strength, and focus without needing constant explanation. Focusing on actions also brings peace of mind. You don't feel pressure to maintain an image or constantly update the world about what you're doing. You can work in your own rhythm without comparison. You don't waste time creating perfect posts. You invest that time in creating real progress. When you finally decide to share something, it comes with the power of truth because the work behind it is genuine. Letting your actions speak louder than posts also sets a strong example for others. It shows that success is built through effort, not through online performance. It inspires people to focus on their own journeys rather than getting caught up in appearances. Actions have a quiet strength that reaches further than temporary attention. When people see results, they listen differently, they respect differently, they understand differently. This silent power cannot be created through words alone. It grows through dedication, persistence, and integrity. Protect your peace by setting boundaries, because peace is something you build and guard, not something the world will give you on its own. When you allow everyone to enter your space, peek into your life, and influence your emotions, you slowly lose your balance. Boundaries are not walls. They are healthy lines that separate what supports your well-being from what drains it. They teach people how to treat you and remind you what truly matters. By setting boundaries, you decide who gets your time, energy, and trust, and this decision shapes the quality of your inner world. Many people struggle to protect their peace because they fear disappointing others. They keep saying yes to situations that disturb their calm. They listen to opinions that don't matter, and they give their attention to people who bring negativity. Boundaries are the answer to this cycle. Saying no is not selfish. It's a way of respecting your emotional health. Choosing silence over unnecessary arguments is not weakness. It's a way of preserving your mental strength. When you draw these lines, you don't push people away. You simply protect yourself from being overwhelmed by things that are not yours to carry. Peace is delicate. It can be broken by toxic conversations, negative energy, gossip, overcommitment, and even constant exposure to other people's lives. When you don't have boundaries, you allow these factors to enter freely. You let your emotions get shaped by things outside of your control. But when you build clear boundaries, you decide what comes in and what stays out. You don't allow every comment to affect you, every invitation to exhaust you, or every piece of negativity to settle in your heart. You learn to choose peace over pleasing others. Boundaries also protect your time. Time is one of the most precious things you have, and how you spend it reflects what you value. Without boundaries, people will keep taking your time for their convenience, not your growth. You might end up saying yes to commitments that leave you tired, distracted, and emotionally drained. But when you learn to set limits, you start focusing on what truly matters to you. You give your energy to meaningful relationships, personal growth, and the goals that align with your heart. Emotionally, boundaries help you separate your feelings from those of others. You can care for people without absorbing their pain. You can support someone without letting their struggles break your peace. Many people carry emotional burdens that are not theirs because they haven't learned where to draw the line. Setting emotional boundaries means knowing when to step back, when to offer help, and when to protect your mental space from being overwhelmed. It's about understanding that your peace matters too, and you cannot pour from an empty cup. Setting boundaries can be uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to putting others before yourself. People may not understand your new limits, and some may even resist them. But the truth is, boundaries reveal who respects you and who only benefits from your lack of limit. The ones who truly care will understand and adjust. The ones who don't may fall away, and that is part of protecting your peace. You don't need to explain your boundaries to everyone. Your peace is reason enough. Spiritual and mental clarity grows when you stop allowing unnecessary noise to enter your life. When you say no to toxic behavior, gossip, endless comparisons, and emotional manipulation, you create room for calm. You start hearing your own thoughts clearly. You make decisions based on your values, not on pressure from others. Boundaries give you the strength to stand firm in your truth, without constantly fighting outside forces. Protecting your peace through boundaries is not about isolation. It's about choosing what deserves space in your life. It's about recognizing that not everything and everyone is meant to have access to your heart, your time, or your energy. By creating these invisible lines, you give yourself the freedom to breathe, to heal, and to live in a way that feels right to you. Share your smile, not your secrets, because your smile is a symbol of kindness, hope, and warmth. While your secrets are pieces of your inner world that deserve to be protected, a smile can brighten someone's day, spread positivity, and build connections without exposing the deeper parts of your life. Secrets, on the other hand, are personal and sensitive. They hold your emotions, your experiences, and your vulnerability. When you share them carelessly, you give away parts of yourself that not everyone is ready or worthy to handle. Smiling creates light, but sharing secrets with the wrong people can create unnecessary shadows. Your smile is something you control. You can offer it freely without losing anything. It's a gift that reflects strength, even when life is challenging. Sometimes, your smile can encourage someone who is silently struggling. It can show that hope exists, even in difficult times. But secrets are different. They carry weight. They can be misunderstood, misused, or spread beyond your control. When you choose to smile instead of sharing too much, you protect your emotional space while still spreading positivity around you. Many people think that being open means telling everything to everyone, but true openness is knowing what to share and what to keep safe. When you share every detail of your personal life, you allow others to form opinions, make judgments, or even use your words against you. Secrets can lose their value when they are shared with people who don't respect their importance. Your personal experiences are not meant for everyone to analyze. Some are meant to stay with you, to guide you, to teach you, and to protect your sense of self. Sharing your smile also builds healthier relationships. When you interact with others with warmth and positivity, you create bonds based on mutual respect and good energy. You don't have to overshare to be understood or accepted. People are drawn to those who bring light, not those who expose everything. By keeping your secrets guarded, you maintain a sense of dignity and mystery. You give people enough to connect with you, but not enough to control or manipulate you. Secrets are powerful. They carry your dreams, your fears, your past, and your lessons. If they fall into the wrong hands, they can be twisted or spread. Not everyone has good intentions, and even those who do might not fully understand the weight of your words. Once something is shared, it cannot be taken back. People may remember it differently, repeat it without your permission, or use it in moments you least expect. Protecting your secrets is not about being cold or distant. It's about valuing yourself enough to choose wisely who gets access to your truth. There is also strength in silence when it comes to personal matters. Smiling instead of explaining allows you to maintain control over your story. It prevents unnecessary drama and misunderstandings. You don't need to explain every emotion you feel or every challenge you face. A smile can express resilience without exposing your struggles to people who might not handle them with care. It's a way of saying, I'm strong, without giving others the tools to weaken you. Sharing secrets